Hi folks, Uncle Jesus here. Really quick here. We're going to have a special guest on the show today. You may have seen him around. He's a Christian apologist on many shows. I'm going to start having many people on the show. We have Brent Hoofin on the show. And he's going to explain Noah's Ark and how God did it. In his opinion, of course. So we're going to let him have this board. You might not see much, but just listen to this man and see what he has to say. Brent Hoofin, come on in. Thank you very much, Uncle Jesus. Thank you very much. Appreciate this opportunity. We're going to explain, no problem, because there are no contradictions in the Bible, folks. There are no contradictions. You see, people want to know how God and Noah worked together to get the ark and all the animals through 40 days and 40 nights. I'm going to do the best I can here with the Lord's help. You see, first of all, the boat was made out of gopher wood. Now, this is the only time that the Bible was used. Here's the landmass right here. This is really how the animals will be coming up. The boat was made out of gopher wood. Better lighting here. So, they made it out of gopher wood. That's the door. All right, that's basically it for now. There's the door. All right. Gopher wood was only mentioned this time in the Bible for a reason. Why was that reason? God has his reasons. See, gophers are the best engineers in the waterways today. You see them everywhere. They're building dams and everything. Okay, Brent, that's beavers. Thank you, Uncle Jesus. No, gophers was another word for beavers back then. These were the most intelligent builders. Therefore, God passed the spirit of the beaver gopher into Noah's mechanical mind. Became influenced by the spirit of the gopher wood. Anyway, you say, how could just these little bit of people do that? They're all built like this. Let me show you what Noah's sons were built like this. They're all built like this, you see. Thick, built like little cavemen, you know what I mean? They did a job. Them two sons did a job. And so they got it together. And they were the only ones that found favor. The Lord found favor in them. So, how did God get all the animals to come over here to get into here? Because God is telepathic. Instinct. We all know what animal instinct is. So he had... I have no idea what that is. Anyway, you got the deer, and they came down. You got the deer, okay? Some of them had stripes back then, and actually that's a moose. So anyway, you got all the other animals. You got the turtle, you know. How do you think God fit them all on the ark for all that time with a limited amount of food? Could these zookeepers keep up with all the food distribution? Of course not. You've never heard this before. This is the problem. Remember, God can do anything. 1,000 days is like a day to God. A giraffe or a moose can be 1,000 times smaller. So what God did was, shrunk them down real small. See? Oh, the turtles, small. Now, telepathically, Noah could speak to the animals. Please get that notification off my screen. Noah could speak to the animals telepathically. And they knew that he was looking out for them. He knew. They felt that. So they came from all over. How did they get there? They levitated. They levitated. God levitated them. Then he shrunk them down so they'd fit on the waiting mast. See, there was a waiting mast. They waited there until it was time. Everybody got up. They had compartments inside. But how would they clean up all the poo, feed the animals, wash them? They didn't have to, because God can do anything. So what he did was, after he shrunk them down, they went into incubation. What the heck is that word? Uncle Jesus, if you're listening, what's that word? They put them asleep for a long time, suspended animation. Shrunk them down, put them in them tubes, like, remember you see on Lost in Space? Lost in Space, they had the tubes, and there all the family was in the tube, like this. They were on suspended animation. God knows how to do that, because 1,000 days unto the Lord is like one day. So the 40 days and 40 nights, see, God woke up Noah first. The rest of the family was sleeping. They're all in these chambers. Shrunk down. They didn't have to eat. See, they never told you that. They didn't have to eat. They didn't have to bring no bales of hay. Because God took care of all that. All that. So then, when God... Where's that? Yeah. See that light shining there? God came down and he directed, see the arrows there? He directed Noah and his sons. See? He directed them to wake up them from the chambers. When they prayed on God's timing, the animals would come back to size. But before that, they had to find out with the bird that flew out. They had the bird flew out. First, he grew the bird back first, because that was the peace. God cares about peace more than anything. So he rejuvenated the bird. The bird went out. And when the bird went out, the first thing he saw was 2 mermaids. They don't tell you that, but they were there. They were there first. But just because it's not in there doesn't mean it's true. But think about it. They came up. The bird spoke to them, followed them to a little island, the first one that came up. And it had branches growing on it already. And so then they handed them the branch, the first branch that came up out of the tide. See? They handed the... So then they flew back, gave the branch to Noah. He knew it was good. And then they sent him out again, and that was the second time. Sent him out, came back. Now they knew it was good. Now God rejuvenates all. And he's driving it out, 2 heads. And he's looking, look, and now they're going out to the land. So that's pretty much how it happened. Suspended animation, 1,000 days is like a day unto the Lord. So 40 nights and 40 days went by really fast for them. And they were protected from the abuse of the waves because they were so small. And they were in the chambers. See, they were in the hand of the Lord, right like that. But see, really, these were angels sent by God. Tell them. Yep. They're angels sent by God. And then after that, then they started rebuilding, you know. They got the tools out, you know. Oh, man. They got the tools out and started pruning the trees as they were growing back. And prepping for, you know, in case something else happened. The Lord provided, but they got that. And then they started building the families again. Then Noah got drunk. And then he messed around and he messed up. But you know how that is. But see, God uses sinners. God uses sinners. Going back now, Brent. Hey, Brent Hoofin. All right, let me take this tie off here. Oh, that's the wrong one. That's how it goes. I have this thing. Thanks for the holder, Uncle Jesus. Thank you.